Hello, everybody. Guess who it is? It's Queen. I'm back in the kitchen. I'm not going to keep you guys long today because I know you got shopping to do, some of you, and company to entertain. So this is going to be something very quick. If you guys remember, I told you I had some pudding in my last food haul that I wanted to show you something to make for your holiday celebrations. This is going to be a no egg nog. There's no eggs in this nog. A lot of people that I entertain here don't eat eggs. I just prefer no eggs in this just because. So we're going to get started with this. I'm going to be talking longer than it takes to make this. But in any event, we're going to get started. It's a no egg nog, has no eggs in it, but it's very rich and you won't miss it. I guarantee you, you won't miss it. Okay, the ingredients today is going to be the Jell-O pudding, the instant, but you can use the cooked one too if that's what you got. But I use the instant. If you want to double this or make more, because the small box makes a small batch, maybe about 5 or 6 cups depending on how much you serve. But I don't like to serve a lot of eggnog because it's rich. So a little bit is good, and then I spirit mine. I put spirit in mine. So you're going to need the Jell-O. I like to put in cinnamon and allspice and freshly grated nutmeg. That's what I have here, freshly grated nutmeg. A pinch of salt. We got back there some rum flavor. This is the extract, the rum extract I like in it. We got the orange extract right here. And if you like the peppermint, that's what that is back there. We're also going to use, and I like to use different vanillas because it gives a more complex flavor to the nog. I like to use vanilla paste back there. I like to use even imitation vanilla. This brand from ShopRite is actually one of my favorite fake vanillas. But, I don't really buy fake vanillas. I like Watkins also. I'll show you. See up there? That's all vanilla back there. Vanillas. Plus I make homemade vanilla. So I don't like fake vanilla, but I like to use it in some applications. Over here, for this demonstration, I have some Bird's custard powder for it because I like the yellow color it gives it, so it looks more noggish, if that's a word. I like the yellow color that it lends to the finished product. So I make a little bit of the custard powder. The directions are in the can or online. But I made for this serving, because I already have one made up to go for tonight. But I used a cup and maybe a quarter of milk to make this. Just to make that. And I cut back on it a little for the directions, just so that it's thick. I actually make the pudding directions. If you guys are going to use it, you don't have to use the custard powder. You can even use yellow food coloring if that's what you want. But I don't like that kind of stuff, so I just go with the custard, and it tastes like custard. So it tastes like custard, which is eggnog is it's like a Christmas milk punch. So it has to have some flavor because milk is kind of bland. So the custard powder not only gives it a custardy taste, but it gives it a custardy color. For the actual pudding itself that I made, which is right there, I use 2% milk because on the box of pudding mix, it said you can use 2% milk or fat-free milk, but it's going to be a thinner pudding. That's okay because we're making this into a punch, a drink, so it could be thin. Then to sweeten it, I use a little bit. You don't have to because the pudding is sweet. If that's sweet enough for you, fine. But I use about maybe a quarter cup of the sweetened condensed milk, and I use a whole can of the evaporated milk. And like I said, this is going to be spirited. Oh, I'm sorry. And this is what I have in this container. The evaporated milk and the condensed milk, the sweetened condensed milk. That's what's in here. I don't know if I'm going to need all of it, but I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes. This nog and any eggnog that you make from scratch, to me, it's personalized. Some people like it real thick. Some people like it real thin. I like it in the middle. You know, thick, but not so thick that you have to, you know, you pucker up the drink, take a sip out of your glass. So, like I'm using 3 kinds of spirits. I have the Myers dark rum, and this is excellent rum to bake with, cook with. I even put a tablespoon, give you guys one of my secrets. I even put a tablespoon in my chocolate chip cookie dough with that. There's a lot of things I do with my chocolate chip cookies that nobody else does, but that's another day. Then we have the orange liqueur, which is nice in this, the Cointreau, but you can use triple sec, whatever you have, or don't put it in there. These are my personal choices. Then I'm using the light rum. So you have the dark rum, the orange liqueur, and the white rum, and that's what's in this glass. Okay? So we're going to get started now, and you know, for garnish, I have some chopped candy canes, and for garnish, if you wanted to use just a sprinkle of freshly grated nutmeg, you could. Okay? So we're going to get started right now. To this bowl, this measuring cup, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can get this out of your way. We're going to pour the pudding in there. Okay? I'm going to pour that pudding in there. And, you know, I'm trying to work with one hand here, but try to get out as much of the pudding as you can. I don't like to waste. Here we go. And then from here, we're going to add some of that milk that I told you about. And I'm just going to start, because I've made this before. I'm just going to start with maybe a half a cup. And, sorry guys. And give it a stir, a whisk. You can use a blender for this. You can use a mixer, whatever you got to blend it. One of those immersion blenders is good with this. And you just mix until you get the desired consistency that you like. See, this is getting thinner because, you know, we watered it down. But we didn't water it down, we milked it down. So, there we go. I'm gonna get it to our consistency that we like. Get it all mixed up in there. And remember guys, you want to make it on the thinner side a little bit. You know, make a small batch and see how you like it, and then you can adjust it to your taste. Because, you know, this is going to thicken up a little bit more as it sits. I should have opened this earlier. Okay, this is that Bird's custard mix that I made up. And I made it a day in advance, but you don't have to. See that? See how that fell out in here? Because it's custard. So, but I made it loose so that it mixes nice in there. See that? I might go over this with my immersion blender because that would blend this up really nice. But the whisk is doing okay, I think. See that? See that? Okay, and I might want to add just a little more milk. Just a little more milk. And let's see how that is. Loosen up that custard. That looks good. So you want to give that a good stir. Good whisk. Just to get everything mixed up. Okay, now we're going to go to the spirits. Over here, you know, add how much spirits you want. This is a cup measure. So I'm going to add, let's start with a half cup. Let's start with that. And guys, if you make this with the pudding, and let's say you made it too thin for your taste, just get another pack of pudding and pour it in some milk and make some on the side, a little bit or however much you want to make to thicken it back up. Because it's an instant pudding. All you need to do with this batch is 2 cups of milk and the pudding mix, and it makes a stiff pudding. But you could loosen it up like I did with milk. Okay, and loosen it up. Okay. Now, let me get a spoon. Hold on. I like this consistency. See that? I like that consistency. See how it's staying on the spoon? It's coating that spoon. That's what I like. That's what you want to look for, because this is going to thicken up a little bit more in the fridge. Not much. But let's say you wanted it more, with more alcohol in it. Just don't put as much milk. Put more alcohol in it than you would the milk. It's all personal. Only thing you need to do is make the pudding mix and then adjust the rest of the milks that you want to use. I like a combination, like I said, of the evaporated milk, the sweetened condensed milk, and the regular milk, and the custard powder. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of salt in there, just a pinch, to enhance the flavors. Then we're going to put a little nutmeg, you know, to your taste. Okay. You can put more in there if you want. There's no law in saying how much nutmeg you got to put in your nog. I'm putting about, this is a tablespoon measure, so I'm using about maybe half. I'm going to start out with a little less than half. Then I'm going to put some vanilla in there. And I don't really measure vanilla because I love it so much. So I put a little bit of vanilla in there, the real vanilla. Now I'm going to use the imitation vanilla because I told you I like the taste of it. Nuanced in there. That's good. Then I'm going to use some vanilla paste, just for the speckledness of it. I like the speckly beans, seeds in there, vanilla bean seeds. I have the Cointreau in there, so I'm going to enhance that with a little orange extract. Just a drop. I'm not putting in any peppermint in this batch, but I'm going to add the rum extract, even though I'm using real rum. Here, I'm going to enhance it with a little, excuse me, of the rum extract. I'll just put all of that in there. Okay. I'll back it. So I'm going to give that a mix. And if you like your eggnog lighter than this, with not so much spices, then go ahead and put less. Then I'm going to put just a shake of the allspice in there. Not much. I don't like too much allspice in mine. So that's it. I'm going to give this a stir again. And that's it. If you want to make it thick, you can. If you want to make it more with alcohol, you can. Just adjust whatever you're putting in there to the thickness that you want it. And that's it. About 1 minute, guys. I don't know if you can see this or not. I just want to scrape this pudding out. I don't want to waste anything here. Okay. Okay. So I got all that pudding out the other jar. That was in the jar. Okay, good. And that's it. This looks good to me. I'll show you the consistency. Okay, that's the consistency. And it's still coating the back of that spoon nice. And it'll thicken as it chills. Because you want to chill it. Let's give it a taste. I'm going to taste the spoon. That's good for me. Like I said, you can adjust it to more alcohol if you want. I think that's enough because some of my guests don't really like a heavy alcohol taste. So, what I have here is a clean glass mason jar, and you just pour it in there. There we go. And, you don't serve a lot of eggnog to people. It's, it's like a punch. To me, it's spirited punch, so you don't need a lot of it to say something. I have one already made up right here. I put more cinnamon and stuff in this one, you know, because this is, I'm serving these tomorrow, so this one is more, I'm gonna put some more pudding in here. And you could even just put the pudding, that pudding mix, the instant, right into the milk here. Make sure it's 2 cups if you want to double it, and just shake it up. You don't need to cook that pudding because it's instant. But anyway, this is the one that I had made up from last night. And you want to chill this. To me, a couple of hours at a minimum overnight is best, or even up to a couple of days. So I'm going to pour some in this glass. And you can see I'm just pouring more than I should. And that's it. That's the eggnog. And if you wanted to, you could put a little, you know, sprinkle of peppermint in there. Let's give it a taste. Very good, guys. Very good. Very, very good. And I'm going to serve it in these little glasses, which to me, these are 4-ounce glass. So 4 ounces of that eggnog, which is spirited, is enough. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's the No Egg Nog made with the instant pudding mix. And I also gave it a nice custardy taste and color using the bird's custard, which you would make. I made for this batch, which makes about that much that I showed you guys. That's, to me, enough to serve at least 4 to 5 people, a half a cup, if you're serving other cocktails. The bird's pudding, I used like a little over a cup. Just make the directions on the back of it for a small amount of pudding. But for that, I used about 1.25 cups and 2 tablespoons of the custard, because I didn't want it to be pudding textured. I wanted it to be thin, you know, just for the color and the taste. And then I use the, you know, the milks. You can use the reduced if you want it, and the evaporated and the sweetened condensed, freshly grated nutmeg. Oh, and like I said, you can also put a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg on the top of that. But that's it, guys. That's the No Egg Nog made with the instant pudding, and you can use any brand pudding as long as it's instant. Follow the directions on the box. Mix it with the milks that I showed you and the spirits if you want it in there. If not, you would just use the milk. I might double this because, you know, I want to make some more. So when I double it, I'm just going to add the Jell-O instant pudding in there, and that'll thicken it. But I'm going to have to add more milk because I don't like mine too thick. Okay, guys. Anyway, that's it. You guys have a good afternoon. Love you a lot. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you and your family. May God continue to bless you with peace, health, and happiness. And please stay tuned for more videos coming up this year. I don't know if I will upload another one, but just in case, stay tuned. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a good day now. Thank you.